3 Israeli hostages that were held by Hamas since October 2023 have been freed in return for over 300 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was not happy that Donald Trump called Vladimir Putin first to discuss the war in Ukraine.
Thousands of climate activists participate in nationwide protests in Germany ahead of the upcoming February 23rd federal election.
Tens of thousands gathered to watch as Venice's carnival festivities opened with a Casanova opera pop.
Three Israeli hostages that were held by Hamas since October 2023 have been freed in return for over 300 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. The three hostages have since been in Israeli care after they were handed to the Red Cross in Khan Yunis in Gaza. It comes as part of a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas that began 4 weeks ago, a truce that had been jeopardized in recent days. Earlier this week, Hamas had threatened to delay the release of the hostages as it accused Israel of violating terms of the ceasefire. In response, US President Donald Trump warned that the ceasefire agreement would be cancelled if they didn't release all the remaining hostages by midday on Saturday. Egyptian and Qatari mediators helped avert the standoff and pledged to remove all hurdles to ensure Israel would allow more tents, medical supplies, and other essentials into Gaza.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said at the Munich Security Conference that he was not happy that Donald Trump called Vladimir Putin first to discuss the war in Ukraine, saying it was dangerous for the first meeting to be with the Russian president. His comments come after the US and Russia agreed to hold peace talks.
They can discuss everything they want, but not about Ukraine without us. Yes, but I think that more dangerous if first meeting will be with Putin and then with Ukraine. And that things I shared with the President Trump, that first of all, we have to see common view. And I said also that at the table, we need Europe also.
Zelensky said there was a lot of different voices coming from the new US administration, saying he wasn't sure all these voices were on Ukraine's side.
Thousands of Germans participated in major climate protests across the country ahead of the upcoming federal election scheduled for the 23rd of February. Protests were organized by the global youth-led climate strike organization, Fridays for Future. The group says more than 100,000 demonstrators participated in the nationwide protests in more than 150 locations. Climate activists in Germany say the crisis has been completely ignored and overshadowed by other issues like the economy and immigration in the upcoming vote. Polls currently project the far-right Alternative for Germany party to secure second place with just over 20% of the vote, which would be their strongest performance to date. The party has often dismissed the climate crisis and have routinely called to end all major climate action efforts in Germany. Activists say they're determined to continue protesting to raise awareness to the issue and push for change.
The Venice Carnival opened with a performance marking the 300th anniversary of Casanova, the city's famed writer, adventurer, and legendary lover. Crowds gathered in the famous Piazza San Marco on Valentine's Day for performance of a Casanova opera pop. This year's carnival will run until March 4th and will include costume balls, water parades, and theatre performances. It takes place in the weeks leading up to Mardi Gras and the start of Lent. For the Catholic Church, Lent is a period of reflection, repentance, and fasting. So Carnival developed as a last gasp wild party before the Lenten period. Carnival began in Venice in the 11th century, and the Venetians extended the period to roughly 2 months of festivities. Over the centuries, the Venetian Carnival attracted nobility from around Europe, allowing them to participate in all sorts of fun, both legal and illicit. Now it attracts revelers from all around the world.